No, Greg Oden's the biggest bust. It's disappointing how big of a bust Okafor was, though.
Okafor had
we saw his
all the
game.
tools.
We saw his game. Dude, it should have translated to the NBA.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
that's what's such a bummer. With the Oden thing, to get off topic a little bit, with the Oden thing, that's what's so disappointing. And that's why I always have empathy for the Trailblazers, is that Oden had every intangible tool that you wanted out of a big man.
Yeah, he was a superstar.
He just could not stay healthy.
Right.
And then they did the same thing with Roy.
Oh my gosh, I just saw Brandon Roy.
Yep. His knees gave out on him.
He was unstoppable.
But Jesus Christ, was he was superstar level.
He was one
talent.
of my favorite players to watch when he was playing.
Yeah.
I loved Brandon Roy.
Brandon Roy killed the Mavs.
Yep.
When the Mavs were actually fucking decent and they were actually making the playoffs often. He had that clutch mentality.
Yep.
He had that Mamba mentality right there.
Yeah. Talking about teams that killed the Mavs, Denver Nuggets every single time.
Yeah. But
was
anyways, to get back on topic,
Not gonna let that derail.
we want to know your villains, Joe.
Okay, so number one and number two we've already said. LeBron and Draymond Green.
Okay.
I fucking hate Draymond Green. I'm not a fan of LeBron. For number three, I'm probably going to go Kevin Durant.
Oh, neither of us named Kevin Durant.
Yeah, neither of you named Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, and I think it's because Kevin Durant is such a plot twist, is that Kevin Durant went from the hero, and I mean probably the most utmost hero
He was the most
in
beloved
OKC.
player, yeah.
He was probably the most beloved player in the league because there was no drama surrounding him. He showed up, he played his game, he was a good guy, he did well. And then when they lost Harden, and him and Russ kept doing pretty
and
well.
Jeff Green. Don't forget they lost him too.
They lost Jeff Green. But they kept going. They were pretty good, but they never made as much of a noise as they did in that year that they went to the finals.
Oh, yes, they did. They were up 3-1 the year before he left. They were up 3-1 and they lost it. They were the first of that year when Kevin Durant, his last year in OKC, they were up 3-1 on the Warriors and they lost 4-3.
Fair enough.
That's what makes him the villain. That's what makes him the villain, is because he left a team he couldn't beat that they almost beat, but he couldn't do it.
Right, and exactly. So he leaves OKC to go to Golden State, who already, at a point, didn't really need him.
No.
Golden State didn't really need KD to win. They had already done it.
Well, they thought they needed him because they had just lost to LeBron. They had just done the same thing.
Well, sure, but they had the potential to keep going in that same powerhouse move.
Right.
They would have won no matter what.
Right.
Eventually.
And the odds of Cleveland doing that again was, 0. 0%.
The chances that LeBron could put out a performance like that again, which we say that year in and year out, and he kind of does it except for this past season. But they bring on KD, who they don't really need, and KD goes to the team that's obviously going to fucking win. He goes over there, and he plays, he wins a ring, and then he loses.
Yep.
And then he's out and goes to the Nets. Which, again, we talked about this. I don't get the move entirely to the Nets. I think him and Kyrie are going to be good. It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what conversations have happened for that to be the thing, but whatever. But then he throws a hissy fit over in Golden State, says he doesn't like some of the staff, and he leaves.
Yeah.
So I'm putting KD up there.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And it's unfortunate that TJ went on a Truly's run real quick, because I'm sure he would agree. But yeah, I mean, you have to, if you're talking about villains in the NBA right now, like KD's a mercenary in every bit that the way Kawhi is.
He's a sellsword.
He's a fucking mercenary.
He goes to whoever's going to pay, which is sad because KD was one of the true franchise players for a long time. I thought Russ and KD were going to retire in OKC.
And KD's also one of the best players of all time. Like, by the time he's done, he's one of the best of all time.
I guess it depends on. He'll definitely go to the Hall of Fame.
He'll go to the
100%.
Hall of Fame. And whenever it's all said and done, especially if he wins a ring with Kyrie and with DeAndre Jordan in New Jersey, if he brings New Jersey, they're not New Jersey anymore. The Brooklyn. Fucking goddamn Brooklyn Nets. If he brings the Nets their first ring since years. Like, they won one at one point, didn't they?
I don't think so.
If he brings them their first ring, if it is their first ring, then... how do you not cement this guy as one of the best of all time? The reason why Kawhi is going to be considered one of the best of all time is because he brought fucking Toronto a ring. No one ever thought Toronto would be a contender for a championship.
Nets won 2 ABA championships in New York.
That's what I thought. I thought they won 2. They won with who? Who was on that team?
Dr. J.
There you go.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Well, everybody always associates Dr. J with somebody else, but there's But that's the thing, right? Like, so if KD is a
but it was
super
also
villain,
the ABA, not the NBA.
Right. So KD is a super villain. He's been part of. He's a hired mercenary at this point.
And it's almost kind of the same sense of Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler, I don't think is a hired mercenary, but it's in the same sense of KD's out for KD.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's the hard twist to me. That's the difference. Is like we thought KD was out for OKC, and it turns out KD's out for KD.
Yeah.
And that makes it really
we
hard.
knew KD was out for KD the moment he went to the Warriors.
Right. Like, and that's when the paradigm shifted from him being the hero to not being the hero.
And his my next journey or my next step in my journey meme will never die because of that.
Yeah.
Like he became the biggest snake of all time. LeBron has to be eternally grateful for KD's decision.
Right.
Because it changed, like that moment that KD did that, everyone's like, well, you're a way bigger bitch than LeBron.
Yeah.
Like LeBron left for a team that was not in the playoffs and got them to the finals. Like, this is a very different move.
I guess moving on to number 4. See, 4 and 5 are really hard to me because with everything in my being, I want to put James Harden on my villain list, but I already put him on my healers list.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you can't be both, given my synopsis about, depends on your point of view.
Yeah.
I think, for me personally, James Harden is a villain. I fucking hate that guy.
But you just put him on the heroes list, so you can't do it.
I know, so I can't do it. So it's making it really hard for me to get past that. So we got Draymond, we got LeBron, we got KD. You can maybe put Kyrie on that list.
Oh,
Kyrie threw a bitch fit and left Cleveland because he didn't like the way that LeBron was treating him.
He didn't like not being the superstar.
He didn't like not being the superstar.
Yeah.
He wanted his own team. He thought LeBron was treating him bad, so he goes over to the Celtics. And he gets to be the leader of the team, but nobody respects him. Nobody fucking takes his lead. Nobody... And then he goes publicly and bitches out his own team.
Yeah.
And then leaves to go to the Nets. So, I don't know if that's being a bitch or being a villain.
I mean, we kind of decided, though, with TJ's list, that it's the same thing.
I disagree on that point. I don't think it's the same thing.
No.
I.e. why Paul George is not on my list. Oh, thank God, more truly. So what you've missed, TJ, my top 4 so far are LeBron, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie?
Yeah, the Kyrie thing's kind of good, though. Go repeat your point here. Sorry, listeners.
No, you don't have to repeat your point. I'll just go back and listen because I'm a listener, and I like to listen to our podcast. Continue with your 5th one.
So, number 5. That's what I was saying. Is it was hard. It was hard because I want to put James Harden on my list because I personally hate him.
Right.
But I know he's a hero to a lot of people, and a lot of people who don't.
He's only a hero to Houston fans,
and he's also a villain.
But also,
to be fair,
but also we're in Texas, so I don't get the opinion of a lot of other people, and I know other people who are fans, and they're just yeah, James Harden is good.
This
but
would
who cares?
be a great opportunity for any of our one listener to come back and tell us what your opinions are of James Harden.
Tweeted us about James Harden. Tweeted us about your top 5 heroes and your top 5 villains.
Sure.
Let's hear from you guys.
We want to hear from you guys.
For sure. At Hoop There Pod.
If you agree, if you disagree, that's fine. We want to hear from you though.
Yeah, for sure.
That one listener, Anthony, did it again. Who's your 5th?
Like I said, it's hard. I keep having James Harden in my head, but I put him on a hero list. So.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah. We've heard your regret. Get over it.
It's not regret. I stand by it.
So you have so far on your list
Draymond,
LeBron,
Draymond, KD, Kyrie. It's pretty villainous. The Kyrie one I really like. I do really like the Kyrie thing because he is a villain.
And that's the thing is I like Kyrie. I do like Kyrie.
I'm kind of indifferent.
But I'm kind of putting him on the villain list right now because personality-wise, not doing so hot.
No, he's definitely a locker room cancer. He's bad for the locker room. You got to go 5 though.
I know it's hard.
It's kind of nice that we're in a climate with the NBA that it's kind of hard to name villains.
But also, I've argued so many of y'all's points. On other people. Yeah. I don't think AD is one. I don't think Jimmy Butler's one.
Yeah, you don't think Paul George is one. I put
Russell Westbrook on my heroes list, which I would have put him on a villains list last year. I would have put him on a villains list.
Sure, he's not a villain.
No, I would have put him on one though.
Why?
Because he's a ball hog, and he wasn't accomplishing.
Yeah, but now you
anything
can't
for
because he was loyal to OKC until they were like, "Hey, we got to move a different direction because we're not going to win. Do you want to win?"
He's a ball hog, but at the same time, the dude that averages a triple-double, you can't use as a villain.
Yes, you can.
No way.
Michael Jordan.
You
said Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time, arguably the greatest player of all time, was a villain.
I didn't say that.
I said that.
I never said
you
that.
said that.
I said
Sorry,
that.
you said that.
He's never a villain. He's my ultimate hero.
I mean, I think it's one of those perspective things. He could have been a villain.
What's your 5?
I don't know. I don't know what my 5 is.
You had so much time to think.
I did. Actually, no, I ranted pretty long about KD.
You are.
Scroll through we have
give me a
the
little
list of
look-see real
teams
quick.
Up right now, which I always think that helps. So we got
Kobe Bryant.
nope.
Not playing.
He's always playing.
Oh shit! You know who could be a really good villain? Who's similar to Draymond?
Huh.
If you're going to call Draymond a villain, which I don't think he's a villain, but if you're going to go along that same level, Patrick Beverly.
Oh.
Pat Beverly is a villain.
You can argue Pat Beverly.
You could. I mean, also.
If you're
Arguably-
using the same thing, the same mindset of Draymond being a villain,
From a not 76ers fan, you could also argue Joel Embiid being a villain.
yeah,
argue it.
oh for
Do
sure.
it. He's
Actually,
your
I'm
5.
going to put Joel Embiid as my number
Okay.
5.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
You're
it.
wrong,
look at
but
his,
go ahead.
No. I like Joel Embiid.
No, I
But
understand
look
why
at,
you
look at his
you call him a-
personality.
yeah.
Like, if you come against him on Twitter, he's like quipping back with all that
Yep.
shit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you could see him being a villain because he'll lean into the hate.
Oh yeah.
That's what villains fucking do. They
Yeah.
lean into the hate. I'm putting Joel Embiid as my number 5.
That's a really good. That's a
Yeah,
good choice.
That's good. I'm done. I got nothing. So run back your top 5.
LeBron, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Joel Embiid.
Yeah. I think, this episode went longer than the last one, so we picked the right topic. It's amazing what happens when you think
Did it
before
really?
you record. Yeah, we went like 45 minutes in the last one. We're at about an hour now.
That's great.
It's great. So do we have any final points we want to make before we wrap this episode up? Heroes and villains are good for the NBA.
I mean, I just went on a rant for a little while since TJ was out of the room. I got to actually
Kawhi
talk.
is the ultimate villain.
I disagree in that.
I'm going Draymond.
Ultimate
He's the
of
biggest
all
villain.
time. Ultimate means of all time.
No,
baby.
not of all time. Wait, are you going to go of all time? Pick an all-time hero, all-time villain before we get out.
All-time
Joe,
hero, all-time
go.
villain. All-time hero,
Quick.
Brian the White Mama Scalabrine. Straight up all-time hero.
All-time villain.
When you are somebody who comes into the end of the games, whether you're winning or losing, and the entire stadium cheers for you and nobody hates you, you're the ultimate hero.
That's how you know we definitely watch basketball. Who's your villain all time?
Your number one villain, I'm going to go Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm going to go number one hero, Dirk.
Oh, I like
Oh,
that.
shit.
And
That's
then
good.
number
No,
one
I'm sticking with
villain,
White Mamba.
number one villain, Paul Pierce.
I'm going to go
Because I hate him.
Really?
I hate him.
Oh, the truth?
I hate him.
I love Paul Pierce.
Dude, he faked an injury.
Sure, fine, whatever.
He's a villain.
Number
That's
one
not a
hero, Magic Johnson, because he won a ring after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar left, and that is always going to be legendary. Number one villain, Dwayne Wade, because of the Mavs versus
2008.
Heat thing, and because the refs were clearly
Wait,
on
not
his side.
2008.
How does that make him a villain?
You know, like
2006.
Yeah,
he's always,
06.
he's an asshole on the court. You hate playing against him. There's so much hate behind
I can
him.
agree with
That's
Dwayne
fine.
Wade
That's
being a
fine.
villain.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put him all time, but I can agree with it.
Yep.
For a Mavs fan, Dwayne Wade is your number one enemy.
Oh, you're damn
Yeah,
right.
for sure. Yeah, always and forever.
Because he's good.
He's good, and
then
I hate him.
You don't need
Yeah.
the refs on his side.
I hate him.
Also,
All right.
also a caricature of like a villain on the court, but definitely a hero off the court.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, did
No,
you
he's
see him
great.
talking shit about his son?
No.
No, his son posted a video of him doing like the hang from the rim thing that Dwayne Wade was famous for doing, and he goes first to do it. And Dwayne Wade posted back on social media the video of him doing. He goes, "You better know your history."
Well, that's as good of a point as any, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Hoop There It Is podcast. If you like what you hear, share it on social media.
I don't know why, but please share it.
I'm not going to be self-deprecating. If you like what you hear, and you did, because we're giving you some different original content here.
Sure.
But thank you so much for listening. Give us a 5-star slam dunk review. We appreciate that over on iTunes. Make sure you share. Use hashtag Hoop There It Is podcast, and then also use Twitter at Hoop There Pod. We're on Facebook too.
As a reminder, send us your top 5 heroes and villains.
Yes,
please do. I'll post for this week's episode, which will be in.
And any topics you'd like to see us talk about.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Just mention us on Twitter. Make sure you follow us, all that good stuff. And we will see you next time. For Joe, for TJ, I'm Anthony.